Hello, Detroit. I'm Curtis Christopher Greene, mayoral candidate, and I'm going to give you a short bio of myself. 32 years old. I'm the second youngest official candidate to be on the ballot. That's not the big deal here. What I want to do for the community is, and I grew up on the west side of Detroit, way up between Dexter and Linwood, and I grew up pretty rough. But I got in trouble earlier, but I ended up coming out of it with 9 doctoral credits, master's in marketing, bachelor's in marketing. After coming from Keith Bennett's Flip the Script program, it made me a better individual. I learned how to speak to people and show empathy and relate. And that's probably one of the main things that qualifies me to be mayor of the city of Detroit. You have to understand the different demographics, you have to understand the psychographics, and of course the geographic area that we live in. And our landscape is pretty unique to others. Detroit is the most segregated city in the country, and also has the largest rate of poverty, of concentrated poverty in the country at 39%. So that's something I want to speak to. I have a plan called the Halo Incentive in my 7-point plan to rebuild the city, which can be found on my Facebook at Curtis Christopher Greene, Greene with a silent E on the end. And the Halo Incentive entails felons and individuals that have committed felonies and that have earned degrees over the past duration of years and show substantial improvements, that they will be given equal opportunities to employment as anybody else would. And until we can get some people to get in and lobby for us and get the box banned completely, this would be something that will really pump a lot of money back into the community. I mean, it's so much potential that it's not being tapped into. Just because people have committed felonies in the past doesn't mean that all they can be is a criminal. And I feel like that's wrong, and it's holding America back and keeping us at a stagnated state. And also, I want to fight against redlining. I have statewide connections through the Young Democratic Party that all feel like insurance rates are too high, and when people want to get their houses appraised based on race, from my experience out canvassing, I've heard a man with a brick house in Indian Village tell me his house only appraised for $40,000, and right next to him had a Caucasian family, their house was worth $160,000, and it was made out of plaster. And it was really incredible, and he wasn't the only one to tell me such a story, but that was probably the most impactful one, because the other one said other things, but that probably was the worst case, because he really needed the money. He wanted to sell his house, and he wanted to move to be with his family down south. But that was holding him back from being able to do it, because he had a certain amount of money that he wanted to get so he can move on. But that's why I'm against redlining at all its extremities, because that's just a couple facets of it. The whole goes very deep with that, and nobody that's with corporate is going to fight against these corporate entities for insurance. It's been proven, and they're still showing it to this day. They don't even talk about it anymore, at least not enough. And also, Dream Detroit Incentive is an incentive for new college graduates, where they could get automatically qualify for a grant of $10,000 after having an address in the city for at least 2 years. This will pump a lot of money back into the community for commerce, millions of dollars, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to patronize all the stuff that's going on in the city, like Hopcats, etc. And it would really be good for mom and pop shops also. A lot of hipsters like to shop around in the community. And so that's 3 of the points from my 7-point plan. And by me having 9 doctoral credits in organizational leadership management, I stumbled across this theory called the great man theory, saying great leaders can't be made, they have to be born. And it spoke about Dr. Martin Luther King and other great leaders, and it made a lot of sense to me. And what I believe what makes me a great leader is my ability to be held accountable for everything that I do. And I'm urging the city, if I do get the chance, if it's God's plan to be the mayor of the city of Detroit, to hold me accountable for everything. I want people all over me, to hold me to my words, because I feel like integrity is a thing of the past in politics, and it needs to come back. And we need somebody that has a good moral compass. And by me being an ordained minister also, I think that gives me a wide scope of what I should do and what I shouldn't do in front of a political landscape I'm seeing, it just seems like a lot of guys that got in there, they don't know no better because they weren't taught any better. So on August 8th, Tuesday, you should vote for me because I'm the person that's going to do everything that I said here in this interview, and I'm going to give you my all. Everything I gave to the Flip the Script program to rebuild myself, I'm going to give to the city of Detroit to rebuild it. You know, I am Detroit. I've been through every situation that you can possibly go through financially, and I stayed strong and held my integrity through it all. Since I've been clean, I stayed clean. So I just urge for you to vote for me Tuesday, August 8th, and to stay woke.